Hey guys, I'm cmasupra, and do you guys want to see a magic trick? I'm going to show you one anyways. So look at these four guys. All of their mouths are open. I'll go a close up on each one. His mouth is open, his mouth is open, his mouth is open, and his mouth is closed, but we're going to ignore him because his is closed. Then we go over here to the Russians, and we can see their backs, which is enough. That's all we need to see. But then we go back over to the Germans, and now look. His mouth is closed, his mouth is closed, and his mouth is closed, even though their mouths were open. I didn't even unpause the game or anything. Their mouths just close on their own without any time elapsing. They're amazing. They're magic. Anyways, welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 video, and it's the Soviets against the Germans, because what else would it be in this game, an auto match? Because that's all it gives you. It doesn't actually give you mirror matches, even though they're possible. I wish it would give mirror matches, though, because those are a true test of skill, because then you don't have to really have much balancing going on. But anyways, I am playing as the Germans. I am obviously cmasupra, and I am in the right-hand corner of the map, which, by the way, is Kolodny Firma, Winter Battlefield. And on the left, we have the Soviets, and my opponent is JFish867, and he is actually a very lucky subscriber. He and I got matched against each other in auto match, so he got to play against me. And this is the game that resulted. There we go. And it's a very long game, so go grab snacks if you want them, and then come back and let's watch this video or the replay now. So let's go ahead and unpause the game, and this is going to be more of a ranty game or video. I'll say it again. I say this in almost every single Company of Heroes 2 video I say, but mortars are overpowered. They truly are. And you'll see it in this game. I mean, there's not a single game I play in Company of Heroes 2 where mortars do not seem overpowered to me. Because every game that I play that has mortars in it, they pretty much seem overpowered to me. It's just crazy like that. But anyways, I am playing as the Germans, like I said, and I'm doing a standard start. I have the one Pioneer squad that I start with, and another Pioneer squad that I built, and then once I have 240 manpower, which I do, I'm a bit late, I'm supposed to be buying the Grenadier squad. There we go. I buy Grenadiers as my first fighting unit. But I do have two Pioneers, which may or may not be smart as the Germans, I have figured out, because Pioneers are weaker than Engineers even, and Engineers are more expensive. They're 40 manpower more, but the Pioneers cannot fight anything really, so they may not be worth buying. In the future I may not go with two Pioneer squads, but I do because that's what I did in Company of Heroes 1, and it also does give a bit more early capping power. As you can see, looking at the minimap, I have both of the squads capturing points, and thus I am getting more capping power than if I only had one squad and I was building two Grenadier squads, which actually, it is finished. My first Grenadier squad is out on the field, and now we have 240 manpower. I should be buying an MG. There we go. A bit late on the draw once again. Not too bad, though. So, my second Pioneer squad, the first one that I built, I did send to the south, and it is about to encounter some combat engineers, and that is not good. Especially because, as you can see by my mouse here, there is red cover between me and him, and my Pioneers have full auto guns, and full auto guns mean you want to be in close, unlike the rifles that the Engineers have, so I had to charge him, but I have already taken so much damage in the charge that there is no way I can win this. I should retreat. Come on, cmasupra, retreat. There you go. I should not have fought that battle at all. It was a losing battle to start with this red cover right here. I mean, Pioneers are already weaker than Engineers, but just add red cover to that, and there is no way the Pioneers are going to win. Up in the top, my first Pioneer squad is going over to capture this victory point, and I had actually told them to capture this fuel point, but the conscripts that my opponent has built are actually capturing this point, so my Pioneers ignore my command and go straight for the victory point. That's what you get for shift-queuing commands in this game, and in Company of Heroes 1. It's the same feature, same bug, whatever you want to call it. And look at that, he used 5 munitions to Ura and prevent me from capturing the victory point. That is smart, because the Ura is so cheap. It's 5 munitions, that is nothing. So they're very smart by my opponent. My subscriber, one of my subscribers, not my only subscriber. That'd be kind of sad, having only one after 3 years on YouTube, or however many years. It's close to 3 if it's not 3. Anyways, Grenadier Squad. The first Grenadier Squad I've built, the only one I've built so far, went and captured this point, and now I'm sending them down here, and hey, hello opponent. I was not intending for them to capture the victory point, but since I saw the opponent here, I was just like, well, I should really capture that to make sure I don't get triple capped, because getting triple capped will make the victory points count down really, really fast. And hello, footprints in the snow. You look very weird and low in minimum graphics. I want to know what this game looks like in maximum graphics. I might as well just play in maximum, because I get the same FPS whether I'm at minimum or maximum. I only play at minimum in hopes that it helps me, even though I don't think it does. But anyways, I decided to capture this victory point because I don't want to be triple capped. Like I said, if you get triple capped, your victory points are going to count down very, very quickly. Hello, I already built tier 2. So this is actually very unusual for me. What I did was I built a Grenadier squad and then an MG squad, which I have set up here in the north, and I will talk about that more later. And then I went ahead and built tier 2, which is very unusual. Normally I build a Grenadier squad, an MG, and then another Grenadier squad or a mortar before going for tier 2. But I went with an early tier 2 in this game, and I also built this bunker with the intent of making it a medic station. But going over here in the middle, I actually won this battle against an engineer squad and a conscript squad. Conscripts were very low on health, so good thing they retreated. And now it's pioneers with flamethrowers versus engineers with flamethrowers, and we both end up losing the battle. We both just retreat. Neither one of us won that battle, although he retreated first, so I guess you could say I won, but then I just gave up the spot. I don't know. I was nice and I gave up the spot to him. Yeah, we'll say that. I won and then I was a nice guy and gave it to him. But anyways, I did want to mention that I placed an MG up here. I appear to have moved the MG because I knew his conscript squad was here, as well as he's focusing hard on the middle. So I decided to move the MG forward. I did not know that this engineer squad was coming, so I quickly set up my MG, and we will see. Am I going to get the suppress? Oh, he's suppressed. And he's pinned. Just retreat. Yep. But as I wanted to say, I did set up an MG over here, and that's because I wanted to block this way and this way for my opponent. He could not get through there with infantry, with my one MG protecting that side. So basically he could capture this victory point and this victory point, which means he'd have two on his hands, but he could not attack me. Let me try that again. He could not attack me from the northern part of the map up here. If he wanted to flank my MG, he'd have to come all the way around the middle and over here. So I was basically focusing on the middle and the bottom part of the map with one victory point. And as you can see, I have now moved my MG all the way down south in the map. Not all the way south, but I have moved it pretty far from where I originally put it. And that is actually very smart of me. If he doesn't know where my MG is, he cannot flank it. So, very smart of me. Now as you can see, he did AT grenade my half-track, which means he has upgraded to AT grenades. He has not thrown any Molotovs yet, so I don't know if he has Molotovs or not. That is a very slippery gun, apparently. That slid quite a ways. But I don't know if he has Molotovs or not. I can only assume he does. That's the safest assumption, but I don't know that he does. All I know is he has AT grenades, and that's why he was able to disable the engine or hurt the engine on my half-track. Luckily I had pioneers right there, so it was not an issue at all to repair the half-track, and in fact I repaired it while fighting and ended up winning the fight. So I'm now capturing this point, although I have apparently right-clicked on the half-track with both of my infantry squads and put them both in the half-track, and I am no longer capturing this middle point. I don't know how I did that. I didn't know what happened when I was in the game, but I decided to move my half-track forward and then take the Pioneer squad out and repair the half-track and just leave the Grenadier squad in there, even though they're totally useless, because the half-track does get MGs even without a squad in there. So I don't know why I left the Grenadier squad in there, but whatever. I did. And it was just a misclick putting both of those squads in there. So during a blizzard, your line of sight is reduced, and your squads will also freeze. This MG squad is kind of freezing. I thought they were in cover because if you look here, there is... well, I guess there's not cover there, is there? That little red dot to the left of my mouse is actually where the MG is. So there's not cover there, but I thought there was cover there when I right-clicked because there's cover right behind them. And I did right-click in the cover, but they didn't go in cover, so they're now freezing, and this is not good. Don't lose any min. Their health is going lower, so they're going to die pretty soon if I don't do something about it, but I'm not doing anything about it. Instead, I'm focusing on this conscript squad that my opponent sent, and the MG is getting bombarded by a conscript squad over here. So there's two conscript squads. I decided to retreat the MG, very smart. And as you can see, my opponent did throw an AT grenade using this conscript squad right here. And it disabled the engine, or hurt the engine. What is it called? Engine damage. There we go. That's what it's called. Engine damage. I had to come up with the right word. So he damaged the engine on my half-track, and he once again uses another AT grenade. How nice of him. But I am at least winning this fight, because I do have the ability to reinforce my grenadiers with the half-track right there. And I guess that was a benefit to leaving my grenadiers in the half-track, was I could just bring them over here and they can fight together and win against conscripts. What is my opponent doing with this engineer squad? Is he going to lose the squad? He very well might. They're also freezing. Yep, there goes the squad. I don't know if he froze to death or if he got shot to death. One of the two. So I did win that fight, but I don't have any pioneers to repair the half-track, but luckily in that whole fight I did cut my opponent off from the bottom part of the map. He has no points in the bottom part of the map that are giving him resources now. Even though he has capped these two, he is physically cut off, as you can see by the minimap, and that is great for me. I don't see these guards rifle over here because of the blizzard, but he apparently has them, and he can't see my half-track either until now, and he has AT rifles on that squad because they come with AT rifles. And there goes my half-track. That sucked. So I'm sending my grenadier squad to the spot right behind the hedge, and that's to keep them alive, really, while knowing my enemy is there. And I do send the MG over to this area to try and basically suppress any squads in this area, because I think the guards rifles are still over there. But then I realized they're over here, and they're coming for my mortar, which I did build. So yes, I built a mortar, these overpowered thingy-majigs, and they are overpowered. Yeah, they are overpowered. My opponent has not built his mortar yet, though, so... Oh, yes he has. It is right here. And it is the 120 mil version, which is something you get as part of your doctrine as the Soviets if you go a doctrine that gives you that mortar. And my opponent obviously has, because he has the mortar. This mortar had to retreat. Obviously, they're not going to win against guards' rifles. And neither is his pioneer squad, but I think I'm going to send the pioneer squad over to the guards' rifles. Or maybe I'm... Oh! Okay, yeah, if I did that, then it was actually smart of me. If I don't do that, then it's stupid of me, because I have this grenadier squad here, fighting at long range against the guards' rifles, so I can send the pioneers in, and the pioneers will survive. They'll do just fine against the guards' rifles. It appears that my grenadiers are actually beating the guards' rifles, though, so that is interesting. And I tried to do a, what's it called, rifle grenade, but it missed because my opponent knew it was coming. And hello, MG. It's a Maxim MG. My opponent has actually built the building that gives you the MGs, the Support Weapon Company. I'm going to speak English. I'm not going to speak a weird accent, a Russian accent of English. I don't know. Something like that. So I do send the Flamer Engineer Squad, not Engineer Squad, Pioneer Squad, over to this MG, and they're just getting decimated. I thought they would win because he's in a building, but nope, he does not win. Maxim MGs are surprisingly strong. Have I cut my opponent off from the bottom of the map still? I cannot tell. I think I have. I think he's cut off still from the bottom of the map, so that is good. Over here are the guards' rifles. They're still alive. My grenadiers are still alive. They haven't lost a single man to the guards' rifles. However, they have lost a man to this 120 mil mortar. Apparently, it has enough range to reach all the way over there. That is about halfway across the map. Yeah, that mortar has a huge range, and it's shelling me all the way over here, or else that's my own mortar. One of the two. Yeah, I think that was my own mortar because the enemy was right here, and then I moved over onto the enemy, which means I'm gonna get shelled by my own mortar. That's never a good thing. This squad is half health. That is not good, but it is what it is. He's using a Maxim MG to capture this point while protecting it. That's a very good use of the MG. The Maxim MG, by the way, in case you don't know, sets up and unsets up deploys and undeploys. I guess either one would work, but it deploys and unsets up, we'll do a mix of the two words, very quickly, and that makes it very useful. So even though it has a very small firing arc, it's actually a very good MG. I know it's very underrated, and I like it whenever I use it, so I think it's a good MG. Now I don't know it is there, so I am sending a Panzer Grenadier squad, which I finally built one of. I've finally built a unit from this building, other than a half-track which I lost. So I finally built a Panzer Grenadier squad, and I also built an AT gun a bit earlier, because I was fearing tanks from my opponent, because this had gone on long enough. We are 14 minutes into the game, so I figured my opponent would have tanks sometime soon. How close was he in reality? Oh, he could have easily had tanks. Look at that fuel. Oh yeah, he could have easily had tanks. But he didn't, so the pack was pretty much useless at this point. And now there's a blizzard, so we can't see as much. But as you can see, I have built a mortar half-track, and I went a doctrine. Just the reason I called this game the Tiger is not because of the mortars, even though I'm ranting about the mortars. This doctrine actually gives me a Tiger. The Tiger is back in the game. This is a doctrine that you can get if you pre-order the game, I guess, because it does say you have to buy a certain version of the game. I don't think I ever bought it, but I did pre-order the game, and I think that is what has given me this doctrine. That gives me the Tiger. So I have gone the Tiger doctrine. I have no idea what it's called, but it's the Tiger doctrine, and later on in this game you will see a Tiger, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 100 divided by 13, rounded to the lower integer number of Tigers. If you do not understand that math, don't worry, that was very complicated. So, I did say that I had built a mortar half-track from my doctrine. One of the first abilities I can get. And even though I already had a mortar, I still decided to build the mortar half-track just to try it out. I wanted to see how good it was. Sadly, I cannot click the barrage button in a replay to see its range, which would have been nice. Nor can I click the attack around button to see its range, so that sucks. So I don't know, I can't show you the range in the replay, but oh well. Its range is not bad, but not great. It's definitely not as good as this 200mm mortar's range. That mortar is really good. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. You can see how good it is by the end of the video. So, I do charge forward with a Grenadier squad over here in the middle because I am trying to attack my opponent on as many fronts as I can. So as you can see, I'm attacking him on the left side and he's mortaring me. I was attacking him in the middle, but his MG screwed me over. And I was attacking him in the right with this Vet 2 LMG Grenadier squad, who was sitting next to a fire pit. Very smart by me. I put them next to the fire pit rather than telling him to go capture the point. But yeah, I was attacking him on 3 fronts, and he appears to be doing quite well at defending all 3. Did I lose the squad? No, they're retreating. Okay, good. I retreated the Panzer Grenadier squad. I ended up losing a lot of squads this game, like an insanely high amount, way more than I should have. Partially due to mortars. Mortars are so overpowered. I'm just going to rant about that until they are fixed. Anyways, he was mortaring me over here, so he was dealing with the left side. In the middle, he had an MG, which is now in the building, so they get warmth. Preventing me from doing anything in the middle, so that's not an option either. So my only successful attack was over here on the right, but he has an MG over here waiting for me to show up during the blizzard. So the MG doesn't have sight range. Normally it would, and he'd be shooting at me right now, but he doesn't have sight range because the blizzard's happening. And as a result, I was able to capture the victory point, but he is waiting for me, so he's dealing with me on all 3 fronts. I wish I had seen him sitting there. I could shell him with that mortar half-track, as well as possibly this mortar, which is freezing right now. Back him up. They lost a man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go, but I'm not backing him up to the pit. Instead, I'm going to some cover so they don't take any more health loss, which is good enough. And look at that 120 mil mortar shooting at me. 120 mil mortar. That's kind of hard to say. Hey, the MG is being useful. The MG that I placed over here quite a while ago. A long time ago. It's actually being useful. but it's getting shelled by the mortar way over here. Oh my gosh. So I have to retreat them. I don't feel like repositioning them. I mean, I could have repositioned the MG, but he would have been pretty much useless, so I decided to just retreat him, save the manpower, just heal them up in the base, because I do have the medic station as a bunker. So I chose to retreat them, and I also have this squad over here who will be able to easily defeat this conscript squad, especially since they're in red cover, where they're taking extra damage compared to what they would normally take. Over here in the top of the map, you can once again see mortar shells landing. Both of my mortars are firing on him, I believe. Is that the case? Where is my other mortar? Is my mortar dead? Where's my mortar? Oh, I retreated him. Why did I retreat him? I don't know. He must have gotten attacked by something. But I ended up retreating him. So he's gone. So there were 2 mortar shells landing here. One was from my half-track, and one was from my opponent's mortar. It has such a long range. That mortar was the bane of my existence. I'm gonna lose the squad. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to, I think I was rifle grenading this MG. My grenadiers were just out of range to do it, so they were crawling forward to do it. But I did not know this squad was here, so this squad showed up and it just annihilated my grenadiers. And so I lost the squad. One more squad than I should have lost. In the south, we have Panzer Grenadiers doing their job, being very, very good at anti-infantry, and they very quickly took care of that conscript squad. He ended up retreating, and I'm going to get this fuel point, preventing, once again, my opponent from having any income from the bottom of the map. Here is a well-placed MG. I have actually built 2 MGs, as you can see. I have one protecting the top of the map, and he is only protecting this entrance right now, not this one. But he does have line of sight over here, so he's kind of protecting the right side, and I'm not really worried about being flanked. I just don't want to be seen. So I put him over here in cover and next to the fire pit. The other MG that I have placed over here is to protect kind of the middle and also kind of the bottom, because you can see the arc is kind of protecting both. But it wasn't too useful. It did just pin that one squad over here who had to retreat, and I guess they dropped the PTRS, so I picked it up with my Panzer Grenadiers, and apparently once you pick it up they can no longer be upgraded with Panzerschrecks. They lost the icon to be upgraded with Panzerschrecks, so that is news to me. It was news to me when I was playing the game. I was surprised to find that out, but it also kind of makes sense because you don't want a Panzer Grenadier squad with an AT rifle and 2 Panzerschrecks. That'd be kind of overpowered. And they obviously just don't have enough slots that they can hold weapons in. So as you can see, his 120mm mortar is shelling this point. He is basically denying me the point, depending on how lucky he gets. If that shell had landed a bit earlier, I would not have had this point, but it didn't land earlier, it landed a bit late, and I ended up retreating, only having lost 1 man and having captured the point. This squad, I had actually right-clicked for them to be... I don't know, I'd right-clicked where 1 man would have been in this point, but there was not a man in the point. Apparently they don't follow the dots that you see from my mouse. They don't actually line up with those dots in this game. So that was a weird fact, but I thought they were capturing the point. Little did I know they weren't. Luckily though, he is charging with conscripts, and I can just annihilate conscripts at close range while I capture this point. And there he goes, bye-bye, but then, you know what's coming. Mortars! His 120mm mortar is attacking me once again. Now this mortar stayed here the entire game. I watched this replay at 8x before doing this commentary, and I wanted to see how many kills did this mortar get, and was it here the entire game? The answer is yes, it was here the entire game. And I'll let you guys wait till the end of the video to see how many kills it got. Oh, this squad is so screwed. Oh, this squad is so screwed. Retreat! There you go. I actually didn't see these engineers until right before I retreated. Once I saw them, I was just like, oh my god, get out of there. Yeah. I'm glad I saw them, though. So a tiger! We have a tiger on the field! Oh my gosh. It's the tiger. The vehicle that was removed and apparently put back in for people who pre-ordered the game and people who bought some special edition of the game. I don't actually know what it is. But my opponent apparently has an AT gun. I was not expecting that, but who cares? It's a tiger, right? It can stand up to the AT gun, right? Am I right? I hope I'm right. I mean, I know the answer right now as I'm commentating, but when I was playing the game, I was like, I hope I'm right. I hope it can stand up to an AT gun, and I was right. It, in fact, decrewed 4 out of the 6 men on the AT gun, but I had to back up because I was taking more damage than I wanted to, and there was another AT gun firing at me, so I was just like, well, let's just back up. I can afford to not decrew that AT gun. Let's just back up and repair. And here we get to see how long it takes to repair a Tiger. It is just crazy how long it takes. And my opponent's still shooting at me with his AT guns. Oh my gosh. Wow. Those... The range makes sense. I mean, that's not even a screen across. That's acceptable for an AT gun. But he's still shooting at me with AT guns, so I have to back up. And as you can see, my mortar half-track actually took some damage earlier in the match. I don't remember if it was from PTRS anti-tank rifles, from guards rifles, infantry, or if it was from an AT gun. I don't know. Or if it was from a 120mm mortar. That's entirely possible as well, considering how close that shell landed. He obviously has range all the way out here. That thing just has crazy range. Ooh, lens flare from repairing. Isn't that neat? Lens flare, although apparently it disappears when you go in close. Yeah, there's a lens flare. Anyways, they're repairing the Tiger, and we get to see how painfully long it takes to repair a Tiger. Just look at that. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. So how many Pioneer squads do I have? I only have 1. I ended up building actually 3 just to repair the Tiger multiple times in this game. So it takes forever to repair, and I wanted to take advantage of the Tiger, so I got as many Pioneer squads as made sense without going overboard. So I got 3 to take care of the Tiger. Over here in the top of the map, we actually are seeing me Panzerfausting this Su-76 twice. My Panzerfausted it twice, so it definitely has a damaged engine. He's apparently shooting at my infantry with an AT gun, which is doing absolutely nothing, but then magically when you put the AT gun in artillery mode, it does a ton of damage, as we may see in this fight. Oh yes, I was very smart there. You saw the Su-76 just get destroyed there, and that's from the Tiger. I knew this Su-76 was coming over here, so I decided to charge forward with my Tiger, because it has enough health to withstand the 2 AT guns long enough to kill the Su-76, and then back away, which is exactly what I did. And I have the Pioneers repair the mortar half-track, because I don't want to lose it, and the Tiger can stand up for itself for a little while here. And while I repair this, and then I'll have them repair the Tiger. Except he now has an Su-85. This is a tank destroyer, and it has a long range, longer than the Tiger. Longer? Well, it's as long as the Panther, I believe. I believe the Panther has a long range. I know I've had some really long shots with the Panther, but apparently the Panther also has a longer range than the Tiger, which I thought was interesting. I thought the Tiger... I need to stop talking so fast. I thought the Tiger was going to have the same range as the Su-85, so I actually wanted to just have the Tiger shoot at the Su-85, but it doesn't apparently. The Su-85 has a much longer range. And there goes the half-track. He apparently has the ability to see very far on that Su-85, so he's seeing units that I can't, or I wouldn't have been able to see of his at that distance. So I have to back up my Tiger. One of the abilities that the Doctrine gives me is Panzer Tactician, which allows me to use smoke on my Tiger. As you can see, by pressing the T key, I can spend 15 munitions and put smoke in front of the Tiger. Now here you can see his Su-85 gets destroyed. I was just like, oh yes, that's a huge blow to you. Oh yeah. Because he was chasing my Tiger, he thought it was somewhere over here. Little did he know it went all the way down here with 1 sliver of health. I can see why he wanted to kill it so badly, but I had my pack here. I was actually baiting him with my Tiger. I knew my pack was going to kill the Su-85, so I successfully baited him. He didn't even try to back up after getting shot at by the pack. So Su-85 is dead. This Panzer Grenadier squad is Vet 2. Where's the MG? The MG is still sitting here. I do move it quite a few times later on in this game, though. So this Panzer Grenadier squad has, well, combined with the MG, has held off a squad of some kind. I don't know which one it was, but a squad of some kind. So I decided, hey, my opponent's not going to be protecting the bottom part, right? So I can go and capture this point, No, I was totally wrong. There's a machine gun over here, and it's a Maxim. And he's able to suppress me and make me move slowly, and then his mortar is extremely useful, because he can just shell me. But then I send in a barrage, what's it called? A fragmentation bomb, which, as you can see, that is exactly what it does. It's very good against infantry. I was hoping to kill the whole squad, but it didn't happen, sadly. So he ended up getting out of there, just retreating. The Panzer Grenadiers weren't able to finish off his MG either at long range, because they do have MP44s, which are full auto guns, and those guns are not good at long range in this game. Look at this squad, 1 man left, and that's from a barrage from this AT gun. That is crazy. How many infantry kills does this thing have? 5. How many vehicle kills? 0. Yeah. It apparently sucks against infantry until you put it in barrage mode, and then it's just really, really good against infantry. Hello, Su-85. So apparently my opponent has built another Su-85, and he's trying to crush my Panzer Grenadiers. I intelligently retreat, because I don't want to be crushed, and I would also just lose the fight against the conscripts with only 2 men in my squad, even if I am Vet 2. So I just end up retreating, and here is my mortar that is getting shelled, as well as my MG. I actually retreated my MG from over here, because they were down a man, and it just made sense. And he's shelling my mortar with his mortar. His mortar has such a long range, it's crazy. Just so you guys know, let's go over here to him, and you can see this mortar, the 120mm mortar, costs 360 manpower, which is a decent cost. It's pretty high. It's as costly as a sniper. And how much does the Panzer Grenadier squad cost for comparison? 360, it's exactly the same. So it costs as much as a sniper or a Panzer Grenadier squad, so the mortar is kind of expensive, but it's not too bad. So you'd expect it to be good, but not as good as it is. It already has 17 kills. Friendlies killed 7. That thing is powerful against his own units apparently as well. So that's a good thing for me. He's killing his own units, but he has killed 17 of mine. And apparently, I actually don't know. Has he killed 10 of mine or 17 of mine? That would be a good question. I don't actually know. And why does it say 10 in the image, but it's 17 in the place my mouse is in the taskbar? Who knows? Very curious. Oh, it always says 10 in the image. Okay. Anyways, moving on. My opponent is capturing this fuel point in the bottom of the map. Is he struggling for fuel? Let's find out. He is kind of struggling for fuel. And Su-85, every time he builds one, is 115 fuel, so it's not cheap in any way in terms of fuel. So I guess he is struggling for fuel, so he just really wants this point. And so he is able to get it because he's not cut off, as you can see by the minimap. He's not cut off from the bottom part of the map. He can easily capture that point and have a fuel income. In the middle here, you can see that I am once again trying to charge in the middle, but he has an Su-85 shooting at me, as well as a 6-man MG squad that is not going to be annihilated very easily. However, where's my mortar? Is it back at base? No, it is right here. It is way too far back, so my mortar is being entirely useless right now, because I was busy doing other things, microwing other things. This Grenadier squad and Panzer Grenadier squad are battling out with the Guards Rifle. The Guards Rifle are guaranteed to lose the battle, because they can't even win against one Grenadier squad, much less a Grenadier squad plus a Panzer Grenadier squad. So, smart retreat by my opponent. And I'm able to go ahead and just start decapping this point. One thing I do want to clear up for you guys is multiple squads in a point does not make a capture faster. I believe it may have back, maybe in the alpha or sometime, I don't know. I once heard that it made it capture faster, but it definitely does not. It does not make it capture faster, so don't put 2 squads in a single point to capture a point. Just there to help you guys. That is a tip for you guys. Well, this was smart of me. I went over here with my Pioneer squad to capture the victory point over here, and I put them behind this these logs, so the Su-85 could not shoot at them, and he didn't have line of sight on them. I was just capturing the point, and he couldn't see me. So I was able to capture the point and then retreat. Sadly, though, he just decapped it right afterwards, so that was totally useless for me. Looking up top at the victory points, it's not very even, but it's pretty even. I have 249, he has 316, so it's not too bad. I'm losing by a little bit. Squad made it back fine. That is good. I hear an MG firing. This MG, probably. No, it's not that MG. It is this one. No? Gosh, where's the MG? There it is. I didn't see him. There we go. Wow, they need to make it easier to see units. That's the second time I've done that in a replay, in a video. But, yeah, my opponent was attacking me up north in the map, but he's not able to successfully deal with me. I'm doing a better attack than he can do a defensive. He is able to set up his max MG very quickly and does suppress me, but I'm able to get out of his arc, so that is very good. You can see this Su-76 is barraging this area right here, so I can't send infantry through there, but I can send a Tiger, and I have apparently just crushed that building, so that building is no more. That is very good, considering how much my opponent is using buildings. Good thing for me that I crushed it. But hello, conscript squad. You are going to die. Or retreat. That is the other option, which he obviously did. So I am trying to capture this point. It's not critical that I capture the point. It's just a fuel point that I don't really need, because I do have 300 fuel and I'm just floating it. I'm also floating 800 manpower. You'd think I was saving up for something, but I'm not. I actually just forgot to start buying units again. And I realized this a bit later in the game. I just forgot to buy units. That's all that happened. But I'm floating tons of manpower and fuel. I don't need this fuel point. I just want it because my opponent wants it. And I obviously don't want to give something to my opponent if he wants it. I'll only give it to him if he doesn't want it and it hurts him. But look at that. This ZIS is able to just wipe out that Grenadier squad. It took only 2 shots. It took 1 hit to wipe out 3 of the guys and cause a fire explosion, and then the second hit killed the last guy. So those things are very strong, as well as his mortar. 24 kills. Wow. It's going to have even more by the end of this game. It's going to have over twice that number. Just to give you guys an idea of how many it's going to have. Okay, so I have apparently been smart and went to capture this point once again. I'm trying to triple cap my opponent because I am down on victory points, 248 versus 284. Well, it's just the last 2 digits reversed. But I am trying to triple cap my opponent because he's focusing very heavily on the top 2 victory points, so if he continues to do that, he will obviously win the game because he'll have 2 points and I'll have 1, and he will just count down my points while I don't do anything to his. So I don't want that. So I am attacking up here in the north, and at the same time I'm holding the south part of the map, so I do keep that victory point. Oh, this Tiger is so screwed. Press T, cmasupra, there you go, press T, drop smoke, sending down fragmentation bombs. Oh yeah. And it apparently did something to these guys. What did it do? Crew shock, incapacitated. So apparently the fragmentation bombs incapacitate the crew temporarily for a very short period of time. It did not last very long at all. But I did that while using smoke on the Tiger, so the Tiger got out of there very easily, and he is not capturing this point, so that is great. I, on the other hand, did capture this victory point, so I did triple cap him, but I ended up retreating with the Panzer Grenadier squad because he brought in a Guards Rifle squad and a Conscript squad. I did not stand a chance. Now, Panzer Grenadiers without Panzer Shreks are absolutely useless against tanks, such as the Su-85. Apparently, though, the Su-85 is not too good against infantry either, so this is more of a stalemate battle. I'm not doing much to him, he's not doing much to me. I'm just stalling while I repair my Tiger because his Su-85 will win against the Tiger one-on-one. They are just better than Tigers. So the Tiger is not so great right now. Is he shelling me? He is shelling me with an Su-76. Oh, indirect fire. Those things are so strong. The ZIS and the Su-76 barrage abilities are so strong, as if mortars weren't already strong enough, especially this one, which has 27 kills now. Oh my gosh. It's just racking up the kills. So as you can see, I do have 2 Pioneer squads, one over here and one right here, both of which are repairing the Tiger. And I'm already building a third. This building, yeah. I'm already building a third, because I want 3 to repair this tiger. It just repairs so slowly, look at that. Even with 2 squads, it's so slow. That's taking forever to repair. So we built the third one, because the tiger apparently has a ton of health, but it doesn't have very good armor in this game, apparently. Because the Su-76 will beat a tiger, even though it really shouldn't. Because the Su-76 is built from a building. I believe it's tier 4 from the Russians. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, tier 4. Yeah. The 115 fuel unit. So it comes out at tier 4, and my tiger comes out 5 or 6 command points, one of the two. And it's a call-in unit that costs way more than an Su-70... No, Su-85, right? Yeah, this is a 76, so it costs way more than an Su-75, and yet it loses against the Su-75, so Tiger, not so great. Maybe they might just need to balance it, because it is brand new. This doctrine is brand new. They announced them a few days ago, I guess it was, so it hasn't been in here too long. New doctrines. One of the 2 new doctrines, by the way. There's 2 new doctrines as the Germans, and 2 new ones as the Russians as well, I believe. Maybe it's actually 3. I can't remember. Wow. Whatever. I can't remember. I'll leave it at that. So my tiger over here is protecting the, I guess the top right victory point it would be, and while I'm attacking with my Panzer Grenadiers, because I don't want to be even double capped with victory points, because I'd be losing points at that point. I said the word point quite a bit in that sentence, but oh well. I'm actually winning in victory points right now. I have 213, he has 211, and I'm capturing this one, which means I will once again have 2 victory points, and he'll have 1. But he's shelling me. Oh my gosh. Lucky for me, he's hitting all the way up here in the northern part of the victory point, and I'm down here in the south, so he's missing me. But he's once again shelling me, and it's being very, very annoying. And that was a hit. But I do capture the point, and now he's shelling where I was. I probably need to retreat this squad, I would imagine, but before I do that, I will move up my MG, because he now knows where it is, so I don't want him to start barraging it. So I do move it, and then I'll retreat my Panzer Grenadier squad. As you can see, this Su-85 is actually at less than half health, but it is doing some damage to me, so I am actually bringing my pack over here to start shooting at it, but then he starts moving away because he knows, okay, my opponent knows where my Su-85 is, I should go ahead and move it before his tiger or his pack shows up. And he's being very smart, and I knew he moved it, I saw him move it, so I moved my pack all the way back up. Just moving the pack, giving him exercise. They need the exercise in the cold, yes. That is why I'm moving them. Just for exercise. You know, Grenadiers actually ask for exercise, I think. Grenadiers or Pioneers, one of the two, actually ask for exercise when they're told to go somewhere. Somewhere? Wow, somewhere. There we go. Pronounced correctly. I'm shelling this ZIS with my mortar. But there goes my mortar. I lost it. No! That's not supposed to happen. And Panzer Grenadiers are freezing. Oh, but I moved them. Okay, good. Moved them to the fire pit. This Pioneer squad is not going to win against a conscript squad and a Guards Rifle Infantry squad. So, I don't know if I knew that they were there. But I'm not attacking because the fire pit is right here, I guess. Anyways, in the middle, we have apparently lost a squad somewhere. What did I lose? Was it an MG? No. I still have both my MGs. I don't know what I lost. I lost something, though. But anyways, let's go up here, actually. Wow, that MG is so screwed. Yeah, against an MG42 that's deployed and a Tiger that has the MG upgrade, that MG didn't stand much of a chance. I don't even think that dropped for him. It looks like the MG is just broken. My Tiger destroyed the MG. And hello, plane. I am bombing here, and it once again left a single man, just like it did for the MG that I bombed up here. He is left with a single man in his Guards Rifle Infantry squad. I really wanted to kill it because it's double vet, and I figured it was worth the 180 munitions, but it didn't kill him, sadly. Oh, this is news. He's shelling my MG. Wow. He actually got very lucky with that. But, yeah, he's shelling me. Indirect fire, so much indirect fire that the Soviets have. It's crazy. Especially this mortar, right here. This mortar. Vet 3, 30 kills, not 50. 30 kills, 33, wow, that's... Well, there goes two of my squads, just instantly. This is why I hate mortars, and this is why I hate the barrage ability of the ZIS and the Su-76. I hate it. I hate it. So much indirect fire, and it's so overpowered. It just kills things instantly. One lucky hit is all it takes. I mean, you saw those two squads just get wiped out like that. So that's just crazy. So now he's shelling over here with something, probably his mortar, if I had to guess. So I'm moving everything away except the MG, and the MG is suffering for it apparently. And now he's shelling even with his ZIS. Oh, wonderful. That's just mean of my opponent. So annoying. I lost way too many squads in this game, that's for sure. Oh, this 5 squad is so screwed, although it is Su-85s. There might be 3 of them, but they suck against infantry. I should just send Panzer Grenadiers to go with Panzer Shreks. Just send them at the Su-85s, so Panzer Grenadiers might win. Maybe not against the Su-76, but maybe definitely against the Su-85, especially that one. One hit is all it'll take to destroy that one. That one. Voice crack. This Tiger is very weak right now. I guess it was from these 3 squads, and I did build the last building, tier 4. My intent was to build a Panther, but once again I have forgotten to build units. I'm floating 800 manpower and 540 fuel. Yeah. I have once again forgot to build units. I am just too busy microing and trying to attack my opponent while he attacks me. So, hello DP light machine gun. Yeah, so I just forgot to build units. So how many units do I have? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess 7 infantry, 2 vehicles. What does my opponent have? Way more! Oh my god! That is so many more units right now. His manpower income is 158. Mine is 212. So the fact that I'm forgetting to build units is actually really hurting me right here. He has so many more units than I do. Wow. Yeah. I lost way too many units in this game. And he's charging the AT gun. Time to move the AT gun. Wow, they barely made it out of there alive. So between the MG of the HMG and the half-track, I am definitely holding these conscripts back. They're not able to do much to me. He's just taking damage. Also combined with the Grenadier squad right here, actually, who is holding a DP light machine gun. DP light machine guns don't apparently seem to be as good as LMG 42s, this upgrade right here. So, I don't know. Maybe it was not worth picking up the DP. Maybe it would have been worth buying the LMG, but also maybe not at the same time because this is 60 munitions and the DP was free. Or I could do both, actually. Yeah. I can hold the DP and upgrade, even with one man in the squad who has become a one-man squad because of a mortar hit. How many kills does he have now? 41! We're nearing that double from the 24. Can I actually, like, control group this and then, like, leave it and press 1? No, I can't. Darn it. I cannot control group enemy units. I don't know if you could in Company of Heroes 1 or not. I never really watched replays because my game was bugged, and every time I watched a replay, the game would get even more messed up, so I'd have to reinstall eventually, and that just annoyed me. Because I have the disc version, because the Steam version sucked. Eventually they fixed the Steam version of Company of Heroes 1 before, this is like long before the switch to the Steam servers. Anyways, moving on. I'll stop talking about that. I have built a Panther. I finally remembered to start building units again, and I built a Panther from Tier 4. That's why I built Tier 4, was to get the Panther to support the Tiger, which is all the way up here. He's fully repaired. Oh my god, this is the first time he's fully repaired in the game, except for when I first called him in, I think. So he's finally fully repaired, and now I have a Panther to help support him, although the Panther is in the middle of the map while the Tiger is in the north. They can still support each other because there's this one road right here where they can both easily move and help the other one. So looking at the minimap right now, actually turn on Fog of War, turn on Fog of War. This is what I saw when I did this recon run. I see 3 Su-87s, or 85s, not 87s. These guys, an MG, Guards Rifles, ZIS ×2, and his mortar, that's Vet 3. So I see all of this, all in the middle of the map right here. I was like, oh my god, my opponent is defending the middle so heavily. So I was like, wow, do I really have to attack the middle? And the answer is, yes, I do. I mean, I can attack the left and right, or the bottom and top, I mean, which I am doing. Capturing the bottom field point with Pioneers, and as well as the top right, not munitions, victory point with another Pioneer squad. So I am attacking the top and bottom, but just look at how much is in the middle here. Oh my god. 3 Su-85s, an Su-76, 2 AT guns, a mortar and an MG. He can easily defend against tanks, infantry. I guess that's the only 2 kinds of units, aren't they? Yeah. So he can defend against everything, even my own mortar. His mortar has a much longer range, and it's farther back, so I can't really attack it. He just lost a squad right there. Yes, I will gladly take that. And oh, he's wiped out a flamethrower Pioneer squad, and I can no longer repair this half-track, which he has AT grenaded. That sucked. That sucked so bad. Oh well. I guess I ended up retreating my mortar because he was shelling my mortar, wasn't he? Yes, he was. And now he's shelling over here with what? What is he shelling with? His mortar. He's just shelling right over here, hoping to hit something. Yeah, he cannot see me here during a blizzard, but he's hoping to hit something. And he did make my pack move. I also moved it so it could reinforce from the half-track. I'm bringing them together to reinforce, because that would be a very smart thing to do. Over here in the top, this MG is getting hit by 3 Su-85s, an Su-76, and a Maxim MG, and it is actually surviving. Look at this. Let's look at what it sees. What does it see? Oh, it sees so much just shooting at it and missing. Oh, wow. Yeah, any MG gunner there would be very, very scared. Oh, and there goes one of the men, and... waiting for it. They're very low health. There we go. They died. So, that is that. His Su-85s might suck against infantry, but with 3 of them, they are not very bad. Have I built that unit yet? I know you guys don't know what unit I'm talking about, but I have not built it yet, so I will wait on talking about it. As you can see, I did bring my Panther up here because I thought my Tiger was going to get rushed, and I do want to deal with these Su-85s. But they were getting hit by the Su-85s before I could hit them, so they have a longer range than the Tiger, so I decided to move the Tiger back to help save it. But I forget to move the Panther, so can you guess what's about to happen? If you guessed it dies, you are entirely correct. I forgot to move it, and I was too busy microing other things. Or so I would think, but there's nothing moving. I don't know, I somehow forgot to move it. But, yeah, ended up dying, so... that's a huge blow to me. How much does the Panther cost? 440 manpower and 165 fuel. That's more expensive than an Su-85, and yet it still loses against one Su-85. Su-85s, I guess, are just really cheap, great units. That's all I can say about them. I mean, yes, there were 3 of them attacking my Panther, but even one-on-one, Panther does lose. So, at least the pack wins against Su-85s, but that's not enough. My pack is not enough. He can just mortar my pack, or even barrage it with his ZISs, one of his 2 ZISs, or his Su-76, and my pack has suddenly become useless, which is why I was going for vehicles, period. It's just because the pack was going to be useless, and I figured, well, if the pack's going to be useless, my only other AT alternative is vehicles. I mean, I could get Panzerschrecks, but his mortar would basically deal with my Panzerschrecks as well as it's dealing with my pack. And that pack is once again getting shelled, as well as the MG over here in the same general area. And I have 3 Pioneers repairing the Tiger, and just It's still pretty slow to repair, but it's at least decently fast with 3 pioneers. I could have built a repair bunker, I believe. Right? I think I can build repair bunkers. Oh gosh, can you build repair bunkers? MG, medic, reinforce. No, you cannot build repair bunkers in this game. Wow, I just realized that. How long have I played this game? You cannot build repair bunkers in this game. So that was not an option, it was just pioneers. And now I've built it. There we go, the unit I was thinking about. So the Panzerwerfer. Panzerwerfer. I don't know. I don't speak very much German. But the Panzerwerfer. And I have finally built it. And you can probably guess why I built it. I mean, you saw the recon run here in the middle. I saw all of that stuff, so I figured, well, let's just send a Panzerwerfer barrage. My first target is going to be this mortar, which is Vet 3 and has 48 kills. It's already reached double the 24 from earlier. And watch this. Yeah. It's like a magical mortar. It cannot be hit by the Panzerwerfer. Just wow. All the shots landed around it, not on it. That's crazy. That was the most unlucky barrage I have ever seen from a Panzerwerfer. So that is that. I have used my barrage, and now I must wait for it to refill once again. Although it does not take very long at all to refill, which is quite nice. So I had to barrage back up just a little bit, not very much at all. But then I sent my Tiger forward because I figure I must have done some damage, and I just didn't see it or something. But the case is actually no. He still has 2 AT guns. Where are his Su-85s? They're up here in the north, so they're doing nothing over here. Even though he could attack me. He's not attacking me, so I attack with my Tiger in the middle. And he has 2 AT guns, I find out, so Tiger is about to die. Look at that. It's already at half health. That took no time at all. So let's get out of there. Fire a Panzerwerfer and hope to decrew or even kill these things. That would be really great. That's 1 decrewed, 2 decrewed, yes. Awesome, both are decrewed, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. However, he has moved all 3 of his Su-85s over here, so I might have decrewed the 2 ZISs, but he can definitely deal with my Tiger, no issue, no problem. Look at this, I thought the Tiger could kill an Su-85. I thought it would have had the same range. I mean, it's the Tiger, it's supposed to be awesome, but no, it does not. The Elephant would have easily taken care of the Su-85s, but the Tiger not so much. The Elephant is definitely better than the Tiger. I learned that from this game. Look at this! I built an MG bunker! Oh yes, now we can actually check. Repair? No? No repairs. Okay, so you cannot build a repair bunker in this game. I just learned that this game. But I built an MG bunker, and I wanted to do that to protect this bottom victory point. I'm getting desperate at this point. I mean, obviously, I am very low on victory points. I have 34 left. My opponent has 2 of the 3. He does not have this one because of my MG bunker, but that does not in any way stop him from capturing or even beating me without capturing it. So, yeah. I think we know the outcome of this game. Look at this Su-85. Tiger versus Su-85. Who's gonna win? Oh, Tiger wins. Where is my pack? Oh, my pack is facing the Su-85s. That is good. That is very good. My Panzerwerfer has been lost because I was too busy microing my Tiger, as well as trying to capture this point up here. I sent a squad, but it looks like my opponent was successfully defending it very heavily. So I even watched the squad die. I was just like, well, at this point it doesn't matter if they die. I guess they're just dead. I have lost. But I did kill 2 of his Su-85s, and the 3rd one, I believe, gets away, but very low health. Was that the answer? Oh yeah, I was already low health from 1 rear hit from the pack. That was a very long-range hit as well. So I killed 2 of his Su-85s. If this game had gone on longer, I may have won, but I also think he would not have charged with his Su-85s if the game had gone on longer. He would have been more conservative with them, like he was the whole game. But, yeah. I ended up losing, as you can see, and I can no longer move left, right, up, down by moving my mouse. I have to use the minimap. Very annoying, but whatever. So going over here to this mortar squad, 50 kills. 50 kills! That thing is so overpowered. And it stayed here the whole game. The whole game. It stayed here the whole game. and it was able to barrage all the way out to here. That is just a crazy range. I mean, I was not able to do anything because of that mortar. That mortar was just too good. And then the fact that he had ZISs as well as an MG, the underrated Maxim MG, plus the SU-85s just meant I wasn't able to do anything. I did lose a lot more squads than I should have in this game, which that does suck that I lost so many squads. But even then, that mortar was the cause of a lot of losing. The mortar is, how do I say it? That mortar is partially the reason I lost so many squads this game. There we go. But yeah, I ended up losing, but it was still a good game to show you guys, and it got to show off the Tiger, as well as a lot of abilities I used from this tree. I used the mortar half-track twice. I did use smoke multiple times to get my Tiger out of dodge. I did use the recon. That's when I saw all those things my opponent had in the middle of the map. I called it a Tiger as well. And I used the fragmentation bomb ability at least twice in this game. So I used all the abilities of the doctrine. I have to say the Tiger is not very impressive. The elephant is definitely better. Tiger is very expensive as well. 600 manpower plus 250 fuel. That is quite expensive on the manpower front, as well as the fuel front, but even more so on the manpower front. But anyways, guys, I think that'll do it for this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have learned something. I know I've learned something, like that you cannot build a repair bunker. That is one thing I learned this game. But as well as the Tiger sucking. Anyways, bye guys. And I really wanted to just do a map analysis in this game, because this game was actually a pretty good example of how this map plays out, because most games are, and this game actually went pretty decently for both me and my opponent. So let's go ahead and get